debate team lost to a team of inmates that are serving prison time for manslaughter. This is an incredible story that Alternet recently reported on. And apparently, the Harvard team faced off with these inmates, and they assumed that the inmates wouldn't be well prepared for the debate. And since they underestimated them, they lost big time. Now, after an hour of the fast-moving debate, the judges decided, yeah, the inmates won. The audience burst into applause, and that included about 75% of the prisoners' fellow students at the Barred Prison Initiative, which offers a rigorous college experience to men at Eastern New York Correctional Facility.
Now, after watching this video, I'm pretty sure you guys can see why people stress over the quote, "Don't judge a book by its cover." People in today's world are so focused on comparing the two intelligences rather than applying them to certain situations, as the jail inmates did in the previous video. Stereotypes also play a big role in this topic. Here we have the common stereotype of someone who would be considered book smart, a nerd, one who probably makes straight A's, enjoys sitting in the front of the class, and probably does crossword puzzles in their spare time. There are many stereotypes of someone considered book smart only, but the most common one in our world today is an entrepreneur, someone who would rather learn from mistakes rather than from a book, or someone who prefers getting out and talking with real customers rather than sitting in a cubicle all day doing PowerPoint slides. As I had stated earlier, I personally believe that having both of the intelligences is better than having one. I was curious to see how my Ball State peers felt about this topic, so I asked them this question. Which smart do you think is valued the most in today's world, and why?
Well, between book smart and street smart, I think it has a lot to do with what situation you're in, and a lot of people might think they are very, very smart just because they get straight A's in school, but if they break down on like the side of a road and can't even change a tire, then they're in a situation. But other than that, I mean, in your respected field, as in say business, and you study business management and you study things like that and technology, you may be smart in those terms and you may be very helpful in the workplace there, but without street smarts, you might not know how to write a check, you might not know how to file your taxes, you might not know how to do things like that. So I think it depends. I think what's valued more in the world is book smart. Like, you come home with straight A's, your mom's going to be really proud of you, but if you are just good at doing little stuff around the house or little stuff here and there, like just knowing how to do a lot of things or knowing a lot about the world, and you don't get good grades, people are going to think of you as not smart. But I know plenty of people who get just C's and are almost probably smarter than people who get A's, depending on what field or what aspect in the situation it is. So really what I think is valued more is book smart, but what I think is more valuable is street smart.
Which smart do you think is valued the most in today's world? Please excuse the hoodie that this man has on. Thanks.
I think street smarts are valued more because in the business world you probably rely more on your experiences. When you do certain job tasks and certain activities, you learn from your previous experiences that you had at other jobs or maybe that you've gone through in life, and you don't really remember that much from a textbook that you had maybe 5 years ago. So that's what I think.
For my final video, I plan on showing you guys a scene from the TV show Let's Ask America, where TV show host Kevin Peria asks 4 contestants the question, which did bosses say has gotten them further in their career? Just so that you guys can get a look at what the older generation has to say about book smarts and street smarts.
Question is, which did bosses say has gotten them farther in their career? Well, Anthony, we'll start with you. You could use a couple bucks here. What do you think?
I'm going to say that the book smarts will get you so far. It tells you, these book smarts, you know how to do it. The street smarts, you got to interact with people, you got to schmooze a little bit, win people over. So I'm going to go with the street smarts to get you further.
Maybe the book smarts will get you in the door, but those street smarts will keep you there. Alan, what are your thoughts?
I would go with book smarts because you have to get good education in order to learn things. So I would go with book smarts.
Alan says the old book smarts. Mackenzie, your thoughts?
I know how to play the game, so I'm going with street smarts.
Mackenzie says street smarts are the way. Jeanette, you have the final answer here.
I believe that they really look at what you're all about and what your education. So I'm going to go with book smart.
Jeanette says book smarts as well. The correct answer for $200 with 56% of the vote. The street smarts went out.
For anyone that fell asleep during this presentation, you can wake up now. Thank you for you guys' time. And as my friend Porky would say,
That's all, folks.